Alright, you guys, so because Ark Survival Ascended has just been released for PC gameplay, and because these guys announced that a last update has been made to Ark Mobile, and after that, basically no other updates will be made for Ark Mobile, and basically the servers are just going to be decommissioned, no official server, no official support. Basically, Ark Survival Mobile is going to be probably no longer officially supported in any way. It's already starting to disappear from online stores, you know, for Android and for iOS, Google Play Store and iOS Store. So I decided to have another and last go at Ark Survival Mobile. Gonna do a gameplay hardcore with medium. Hardcore because it gives more XP and more harvesting rates, and of course medium because we get 150 level dinos, right? So what I'm trying to see is this last update, what did they fix? Because they promised they'll fix a lot of things before they'll basically make this a free APK for everyone to enjoy without going to the so mentioned stores and stuff like that. So I'm really curious about what's happening. So one last time, hopefully the animation of constructing your own character, making it as robust or hideous as you want. We'll start in South Zone 1 the easy way, because we're on hardcore and we need to start easy because it's going to get harder and harder as we progress. So we're gonna start by first gathering the necessary supplies. We're gonna do all the tasks that the game asks us to do in the proper order, so we can gain level as fast as possible, right? So we did the initial movement stuff. We're starting to punch a tree, gather a couple of rocks, gather berries, construct a pickaxe, everything in the proper order. This is something that I really liked about Ark Mobile. Although obviously the PC version, right, Ark Survival Evolved, was a lot more good looking and had a lot of more stuff in it. Ark Mobile gave you this very comprehensive tutorial to gain levels quickly, so you can then enjoy the game, let's say, rather than struggle finding out things the hard way, right? We're gonna take advantage of this system of theirs, and you'll see in less than an hour that we're gonna go from level 1 to level 15, and we're actually gonna accomplish some things in this hour. Obviously, look at the beach, always gather from the beach stones, wood, those oysters. Those are very valuable down the line in the late game. Learn the engrams in the order that the games tell you to do it, so you're gonna need the ones that I've just shown you here on the screen first, so you can do the first quests of the game. Each quest is gonna give you 1 or 2 levels, so as I said, we're gonna level up pretty fast. Now we need some flint to construct the little hatchet, stone hatchet that we're gonna use. We're gonna create basically a little campfire right here. This is the first thing that the game asks you to do. Create a campfire and then light it up. Fuel the campfire. Once you fuel it, you're gonna gain a level. Even 2 maybe, I don't know. Let's see, yeah, this is a 2, I guess. Then we're looking at what we have gathered. We're looking at crafting a spear to protect ourselves just a little bit in the beginning of the game. We will need to pretty much harvest all these little critters that are going on this beachhead to get their hide. We will need the hide to construct a sleeping bag. We will need the hide to construct bolas to be able to catch bigger animals and kill bigger animals down the line. Another level up just by harvesting what we need and then constructing what we need. It's really fast if you do the motions correctly. You don't have to worry about it. Chopping down trees and getting wood in the beginning of the game give you a lot of XP, just as much as you gathering stones from the beach. You don't have to actually beat a rock to get the stones out of that rock. Now we're gonna kill all these little things, all these little dodos here, harvest their meat, harvest their hide. Basically, we're gonna need all that hide. We're gonna create a couple of things that we're gonna actually use from the early game, also to level up, but also to use in the game, like narcotics, like a storage box, like a sleeping bag. All of these are extremely necessary for you to, you know. So this was basically the mission where you have to kill a dodo, you have to put the meat into the fire, cook it up, and then grab it and eat it. Again, this is going to give you 1 or 2 levels, so we are already at level 6 and immediately level 7. So see, it's very fast if you do the motions correctly. Now we're learning all the thatch engrams, so we can do the first house build. We already learned the first set of clothes, again very important. Another 3 levels there only by doing this, which you also have to do because you need to protect yourself a little bit in the beginning of the game, right? To hide yourself if something tries to attack you or things like that. So we also constructed a little storage box there so we can gather rocks and put it in there. We don't have a lot of weight yet. Obviously, we are level 7, I think, right now. All the rocks are going to be useful in immediately after level 20. We're gonna start building more complex and more robust stuff for us to be able to protect ourselves, but also to battle all these dinos that are roaming the island, right? So we're gonna do now a little bit of building. We're gonna start crafting, repairing. We always need to be mindful of repairing our things. Let's see what the first thing that we're gonna do here is most likely doing the sleeping bag one, because we need the levels from that. Again, 1 or 2 levels, very easily obtained. But yes, we are going to use all the hide that we have accumulated so far just by building that sleeping bag, because it's pretty expensive in the early game. Again, gathering as many fibers, as many berries, wood and thatch is very important in the early game. Gives you a lot of XP. As you can see, my levels are just popping up, my XP level is just growing up. Look how much I get only by gathering stuff without using any tool, basically, right? Because you're collecting stones, you're collecting fiber, you're collecting berries. You're using the tools right now only to get thatch and wood from the trees. But hey, that's not a big deal, isn't it? Right? So you always have to be mindful to collect items on your way to home, right? So the first bigger kill, I will call it, this Listrosaurus, a high level. If it would have popped up later in the game, I certainly wouldn't have killed him, but right now I need hide and I need levels, and by hunting I get both levels and hide, right? So night is starting to show up. We are gonna build some stuff, and we're gonna look also into the engrams here. We're gonna build this Mojer pistol so we can actually start soon crafting narcotics with it. It's also useful as a storage box. It has 14 positions, if I remember correctly, 14 slots that you can deposit stuff in it. Alright, so you can eat pretty much all the nuts that you get and all the roots. The only ones that you shouldn't eat are the black ones and the red ones. The black ones, you're gonna get a pretty nice garden of narcotics, which you can then can stop basically harvesting them. You'll just need to open up your garden and take as many as you want. So now we are choosing to tame a dodo. We've built one of these primitive clubs. We're looking for the dodo. Obviously, we just killed a bunch of them earlier, so now it's a bit harder because they're not respawning quite often as we would like, right? Also, we have to be really mindful because in this area, it's a spawn point not only for dodos but also for those little Dilos, I think they are called, right? The smallest of the dinos that can actually hurt you, and right now they can tear us in half. So this is our first dodo that we are going to tame, the first tame of the game. We're gonna beat him up with the primitive club. We're gonna feed him some of these berries. We're gonna wait for it to, you know, get tamed. Basically, while we are waiting for the tame to finish, we are gathering, of course, more wood, more stone. By doing so, we are not wasting any time just by looking at our tame there, right? We are actually gaining experience and gaining levels. Not to mention the resources that we are going to use down the line, right? Like fiber, stone, wood, thatch, berries, narco berries. Very important to collect narco berries early in the game. Have them store as much as you can, obviously. And this dodo is gonna come really handy because narco berries and berries in general on dodos are not spoiling that fast, right? So very important to have a little tame to use as a micro refrigerator, if you will, right? A storage unit that is walking with you on the beach. Gaining more stone, gaining more levels here. It's kind of repetitive, I know, but this is the beginning of the game. It's always going to be like this. If you want to grow in levels, you cannot just go and explore stuff because you're probably gonna die immediately. You need to stick to this beachhead here. It has enough resources for you to grow to level 16, then to level 20 to get the better stuff unlocked. So right now we unlocked narcotics, we unlocked bolas, both important stuff to have in the early game. This is a dodo level 95. It's taking a little bit of time to be tamed, but there we go. So now we have it tamed. We're gonna take it home. We're gonna put it next to our storage box, and from there, obviously, we are gonna name him and do all the motions to get the experience out of this quest. After that, the quest is going to be complete, and we'll have our little dodo to follow us around. He's a pretty big level after taming, level 120 almost. He's gonna get a lot of life from these extra levels that you get. 334 HP for a dodo, it's quite big, and it's gonna trick me a little bit in the next phase, as you will see. But right now I'm starting to, of course I've leveled up and I'm learning my new engrams and assigning my skills. But we need to go and craft our first suit, basically, right? So our first set of clothes, right? To be able to complete this, as you can see, I have an engram there, which is a better cap than the one that is classically, right? The one in the engram, the classical engram. But I cannot build that. I need to build the classical ones first to get the level, to get the task, to get the quest completed. And after that, we will build a better cap, and we're gonna get it, of course, on us. We also receive a gift from the game because we have completed that. So we have a little bit of armor right now, which is very important. We will want to fight some Dilos next. So it's very important to have a little bit of armor early in the game, right? We have built our little better cap, let's call it. We're gonna use it. And we are gonna dispatch the other one because we simply do not want to carry everything with us in the early game. We need to have room to gather resources like wood, like everything else. So now I have the stone hatchet and I need to get some hide. So I'm gonna take my little dodo with me. I'm gonna get some stones from the road because they are there. It's a shame not to pick them up. As well as some fiber because we're gonna need that as well. You always need narco berries, obviously. So narco berries in the early game you can get only by harvesting these little bushes. Another level just popped up just for me harvesting stuff on the beach, which is great. in the early game, this is the best advice I think I can give about this game. Assign all the skill points that you get into weight, so you can be able to carry more. It's very important in the early game. You don't have any big tames, you need to carry most of the stuff on your own, and that's gonna help you quite a lot, you know, to progress further. And obviously it's gonna help you because you can gather more and so get more XP points, right? So more levels for you. Our little dodo is following us. 334 hit points, and we have our first dilo. I'm trying to use my dodo as a shield, get him to be attacked by the dilo so I can club the dilo, right? Clubbing the dilo is gonna get obviously unconscious, but here I'm making a big mistake. I didn't set my dodo on neutral or on passive, and he kills my dilo, unfortunately. So all that struggle to get him unconscious unfortunately didn't work for us, but that's fine. That's not a problem. We can use the hides anyways, right? We still need to collect a couple of materials, especially hide. We will go on a hunting trip right now down the shore. This beach is beautiful here. We're gonna walk it until we get all the hides. We're gonna hunt all the dodos, all the listros that we can, so we can get all that hide. And we actually we found hide in our box that we forgot about. So we were able to craft our little makeshift bed here. And now I think I'm forgetting to actually sleep in the bed, right? So I'm going in a little trip to gather more resources, but actually I haven't finished the quest. I wasn't paying attention. I started gathering stuff, and now I was wondering, why can I not pick another quest? What is going on? Why is the quest not finishing? Well, the quest with the sleeping bag is finished only when the character sleeps for the first time in game, right? So we're gonna realize that in just a minute, and we're gonna be sorry that we didn't do that earlier. After we gather a bunch of resources to get to our storage box back with us. Again, repetitive actions. I know, this is the beginning of the game. Nothing major is happening when you start this game. Not unless you wanna die like 6 to 10 times before you even get to do anything, right? So you gotta take your time, you gotta be patient. But I promise you, in less than an hour, you're gonna get enough levels to actually start to do some cool stuff in the game, right? So right now, gathering rocks. Rocks respawn on the beach in Ark Mobile. They do not do so, if I remember correctly, in the regular Ark Survival Evolved on PC. You have to create a procedural Ark to be able to increase respawn points, resource respawning and stuff like that. But in Ark Survival, the respawns are working pretty okay, I would say. We have a little bit of a problem, and it's always been like this. I don't know why they never fixed it, with killing animals, and then those animals should respawn, right? And should respawn with bigger levels. Well, you will see here that after killing all the dodos, basically I didn't get any dodos for quite a while in the game. I was wondering, like, what am I supposed to do now? So should I start hunting triceratops on level 8? Which is kind of impossible to do, you know, with just a couple of spears. But pretty soon that's going to change. And we're gonna find more of them, and we'll be able to harvest more hide, more meat. We are letting the meat to spoil and eating only berries, so we can create narcotics this way, right? So I think it's important for you to know that as well. So now let's see what we are doing. We are repairing stuff, and I think now I'm realizing, after I'm crafting this bolas, that I actually didn't sleep in my sleeping bag, and the quest is still active. So pretty shameful there, but things like this happen when you focus a little bit on what stuff to do first, right? And especially when you're trying to do this in front of a camera, which is always more difficult, but that's how it is. So now I realized, oh, I actually need to sleep in my sleeping bag. God damn it, let's put everything back in the chest. Go drink some water, eat some berries, so you can actually sleep. So, if you are not properly fed and you didn't have enough water, you cannot sleep in this game. I don't know why this is, but this is again the game mechanic. Always been like this. So we're gonna sleep for 4 hours, and we are going to complete that quest as well. Next, we are assigning some engrams here. We want to be ahead of the game a little bit, so we're going for the wooden structures already, but right now we are going to use the thatch structures to create the first little fiume, I think it's called in the game. It's always been a funny name to me. So I'm going to collect a lot of thatch fiber and wood and return back and build some platforms. So I can actually get my first house constructed, my little thatch hut, right? And now I think it's the first time I'm actually seeing some dinos on the beach. We will take a look and see. We're gonna get a little bit scared about that. We just realized we don't have enough fiber to construct anything. So again, doing that really quickly, getting fibers, trying to construct the platforms. Just to get another level, right? We still need levels, we still need engram points, because we don't have all the wooden structures and we do not have a bow and arrows. We only have bolas and we only have spears, and that's not good. So we're building the first structures that we need, which is basically the floor of the house and the door, right? A good start for building a house. I would say the platform is always important to be solid. And getting more fibers and getting more wood, getting more thatch, that's gonna give us another level in just a second here. So we will be up to level 11, I think, at this point. We'll see when we open up. Yeah, level 11. Level 11, that sounds amazing. Building some walls now, that's what we also need. We are getting more fiber, more thatch. We're gonna go place our floor down and we are gonna construct our little house, or our first little fiume, right? So when you gather resources, try to go as far as you can when you're empty, when your inventory is empty, and start gathering resources while you are getting home. This is the best way to do it in Ark. This way, when you get really heavy and full of stuff, because you're getting really slow, right, when you're doing that, so you need to be close to home when you're getting slow. Important to get a hold of that. So I have built my floor, I have built my door. Now I'm crafting a little bit of narcotics to just have them sitting there for the time being. And let's start building some walls for our little huts. We need 7 walls, we need 4 thatch. What? I've thrown the dodo. I didn't understand what I did there. That was funny. Yeah, I need to throw the dodo so I can actually put the walls in place. Right. So I built only 6 walls here because I didn't remember how many I needed. It's been a while since I played Ark. Well, math, not really my strong point in some situations. I'm gonna build another wall right now, getting what I need, building the wall, now building also the roof, right? That's also important. You need to place 4 roofs over your head so you can actually consider this to be a house and the game reward you with a level. Getting in here, we're putting the wall, we're putting the roofing on the inside. Be careful. Structures are latching pretty well, I need to say, better than in the past, so they did something with this update. Yeah, so now what we are trying to do, and this is the last thing we're gonna do in this first episode of this playthrough, if you want, we're gonna try to tame one of those dilos, because there's a quest on that, and also we need some support when we'll try to catch bigger animals, right? We'll want to hunt bigger animals so we can get more meat, more hide, and maybe a little bit of protections. A couple of dilos to have with you is never a bad thing, right? So at the end of this vid, I actually see where the dilos are. They're just a little up ahead, let's call it like that, on the beach. But unfortunately they're in a pair and night was coming, so I said, let's go back, raise some stones, and in the next episode we are going to hunt and tame our little dilos friends. Okay. Meanwhile, Dodos have respawned, so been like 4 nights in game until they respawn again. So now at least we have more meat and more hide. We can use that for taming and of course to build more bolas. Bolas can be built using hide, using stone. And this is a moss chop. This is another dodo that I killed. We can't kill that moss chop just yet. Too much XP on that. We have to let it go, let it slide for the time being. And there you go, 2 dilos, but unfortunately they are too close together. So we're gonna let them survive for the time being, and we're gonna sleep. And in the next episode, we're gonna start with basically taming 2 dilos, right? So this is it from me from this episode. Enjoy this last bit of gameplay and see you in the next one.